there! So this is a continuation of the tomato tart, tomato pie episode. So I have my little tart pans filled with rice so that I can blind bake these. They are, well, set up like this. In parchment paper with rice in here. And this is rice that I've used before. You can reuse your rice, your beans, whatever you use for your blind baking over and over and over again. You don't ever get rid of it. You just keep it forever and keep using it. Anyway, so I'm going to put these into a 425 degree oven to blind bake for maybe about 10 to 15 minutes. I'll have to keep an eye on it just to see, because these are smallish tart pans. It's not like a regular pie pan with that amount of dough that you would have for a bigger cake. Anyway, pie, tart, not cake. Anyway, here we go. And we are going to do up the filling for the tart, and with that, I'll put this stuff away here. I'm going to use the food processor to mix up the cheese. We have approximately 10 ounces of a brie, which I took the crust off, the mold off of the outside because it was beginning to get a little bit aged. If you had a real fresh young brie where the mold was still really white and has no fragrance at all or anything like ammoniation, you could just use the rind and all on that. But this, because the rind was getting a little bit aged out and was having a little bit of ammonia to it, I decided to take the rind off. So we have about 10 ounces of the brie. I have an 8-ounce piece of fontina, and then I have about 8 ounces of cream cheese, and I have a small handful of the garlic that was cooked in the butter. I've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 pieces of garlic here that I'm going to be putting in the filling. Anyway, so we'll work on getting this done up. And pretty much you can use a lot of different kinds of cheeses. It doesn't have to be this combination at all. A lot of recipes call for cheddar. The thing that all of the recipes have in it is about a half a cup of mayonnaise, which I need to remember to get out of the refrigerator to use. And anyway, so it's a combination of cheeses of pretty much any type that you want to use, and some seasoning like garlic, salt and pepper, and some thyme, and the mayonnaise. Boy, this brie is really gloopy at this point. This is just a real inexpensive brie. Since it's being made into a tart like this, I couldn't see much point in spending a lot of money for a really high quality brie that would be nice to eat just plain. And then too, we don't have any of those available in our area. And I pretty much want these recipes to be accessible for anybody, you know, so that you don't have to have really out of the ordinary type of ingredients or anything like that, so that it's just all anything, you know, you can find it anywhere pretty much. We will eventually do a few recipes using our own cheese, but I know it's not available everywhere, so it's kind of nice to just be able to do recipes with cheeses that are available for most everybody. And so I'm going to use what I think looks like half a cup of mayonnaise. And this mixture also keeps really well, so that if you have a little bit left over, you can save it and use it for some other purpose. I think it'd be good for a filling for an omelet or just about anything. You could probably even use it in a sandwich spread. I've used Gruyere in this before, Parmesan, Provolone, Asiago. I've used all kinds of cheeses, but mainly the thing you want to do is have some like cream cheese, some like brie. You want elastic cheeses that will become elastic when you cook them up. I don't think you'd want to use a real sharp cheddar because they usually don't melt very well. And you do want it to melt fairly well. So okay, so I have some fresh thyme from our little tub of thyme out there in the front yard. I'm going to put just a little bit of the fresh thyme in the filling. And then a little bit of this is going to go on the top of the tarts as well. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Pinch of salt. Oh, here we go. Smells nice. I'm checking to make sure that the herbs have been chopped up fine enough and that the garlic is also well pureed in here. It's just about ready. So we're going to have shallot, sliced shallot on the top of the tart to bake along with the rest of the ingredients. So I'm going to toss these little shallot rings with a little bit of olive oil, and then they're going to go on top of the tomato tart just before it goes in the oven, and then they'll crisp up on the top of the tart. And you just put a little bit of olive oil in and toss them around a little bit to coat them. This is lovely and gooey, shiny. It's beautiful. This is a fairly decadent tart. It really is quite rich. It would make a great appetizer in really small. You could use puff pastry to make little puff pastry cups, you know, like 2-bite portions. But it also makes a really nice dish just as a main dish or as a starter. And there goes the schnauzer. It's time for her to bark. Since she's gone deaf, she does this every night when she starts barking. Not exactly sure why she does it, but seems to satisfy something in her. I think it's because she can't hear anymore that she does it, because she's never been a barker. When she was younger, she never barked at all. Now she barks quite a bit, usually about this time of night. But we love her, so don't worry about it. Well, that's good. I don't see any chunks of garlic or anything, so it's been pureed into it really well. It's all incorporated really well. Tastes pretty good. Well, we're back. So we had a little snafu last night. The camera quit filming while I was just filling the tart. No, I'd just taken them out of the oven with the rice, and that's when it stopped. So we've started over. I've put a couple of tarts together, and this is what they look like now. And I'm going to be filling those with the cheese filling and then topping them with the tomatoes, the shallots, the thyme, and then a little bit of the garlic butter. Anyway, so we'll get this going here. This is what they look like now. And now I'm going to top them with the roasted tomatoes. Now I'm going to top it with a little bit of the shallots. Okay, so now I'm going to set them on a cookie sheet, and I'll bake them for about 10 or 15 minutes until the cheese is bubbling. Anyway, we'll get these in there and then we'll be back. All right, here's the finished product. These are really beautiful here when you bring it up closer. These are really beautiful little tarts. Nice crust all the way around. A little bit too warm yet to slide off. Anyway, that's it for tonight. Thank you for watching, and I hope you'll join us again. Thank you. Bye-bye.